new polling shows both nominees with a long way to go with voters. An NBC News survey finds more say Hillary Clinton has the personality and temperament to be president, 42% for Clinton to 17% for Donald Trump. Still, fewer than half of voters say they think either candidate is fit for the job. More voters say Donald Trump is honest and trustworthy, but the numbers for both nominees are dismal. 16% for Trump, 11% for Secretary Clinton. Politics 2016, Fox top story. John Roberts in La Crosse, Wisconsin this afternoon. You spoke one-on-one with Trump, right?
I did, Shep, and I asked him about what Governor Walker said, what you played just a little while ago, and Donald Trump told me, well, you know, there may be something to that. When I said to Donald Trump, do you have a propensity to take the bait that Democrats dangle in front of your face? He said, I don't take the bait. When I get hit, I hit hard, and I hit back very, very hard. Donald Trump also told me, Shep, that he is throwing out the original game plan for tonight's big rally in West Bend. This was scheduled last week before the events what happened in Wisconsin. He is going to turn that now from a political rally into a more serious political speech. He'll actually be reading from prepared remarks where he'll talk about the need for law and order. He told me in the interview that a lot of people were out in the streets of Milwaukee trying to calm people down, and that people just were not taking the advice. They were not taking the pleas, that people were brought in from other cities, according to some sources, maybe Chicago being one of those sources, to help stir things up on the streets. He also told me that he's awaiting the release of the body cam video for the officer that was involved in the shooting of Slyvelle Smith, but he is inclined, at least initially, to give the officer the benefit of the doubt.
Did the policeman do the right thing?
Well, I guess, you know, if you believe a gun was pointed at his head, maybe ready to be fired, what is a person supposed to do? You're supposed to talk him out of it? So I would think so. We'll find out, because they have a tape, as I understand. But the gun was pointed at his head, supposedly ready to be fired. I think that who can have a problem with that? Now, that's what the narrative is. Maybe it's not true. If it is true, people shouldn't be rioting.
Now, that speech tonight will not just be about the need for law and order. This is one of the pillars that Donald Trump talks about in terms of economic security is based on personal security and safety. He'll also be going further down the road, Shep, of the plans that he outlined yesterday in that speech at Youngstown State University, talking about his 3 pillars for defeating ISIS and radical Islamic terrorism. So a lot to say tonight in West Bend here in Wisconsin.
And on that front, keeping terrorists out of the country, Donald Trump says he'll rely on extreme vetting. Did he talk about extreme vetting, what it is and how it works?
You know, we're still kind of short on details when it comes to exactly what extreme vetting is, Shep. We hope to have those details rolled out more toward the election, but they may have to wait the exact details until after Donald Trump becomes president, should he become president. I asked him about that earlier today. He seemed to indicate that what he wants to do is take a lot of the shackles off of immigration officials, give them more power to look into people's backgrounds using social media and other electronic sources as well. But he is still a little vague, in remaining so, on which countries that he would apply this visa restriction to until he gets in place some sort of system where people could really be screened before they come into this country. Here's what he told me.
Certainly one. Iraq is another one. We're going to be naming a number of countries, and those countries are subject to change, but we're going to have extreme vetting. We're going to be looking at Facebook. As an example, they don't look at what they should be looking at. You have to get very good people, very smart people, because obviously otherwise they're going to get, you know, will people go through the cracks? Perhaps, but it can be very, very tough. It's got to be very, very tough to come into this country.
Donald Trump talked yesterday in that speech about a Cold War-like ideological test for people who want to come into this country. There's been some criticism of that maybe it could be applied arbitrarily, or maybe, Shep, some people could lie during the application and investigation process. The Trump campaign insists, though, that people won't be able to lie their way through the checks and balances that they'll put in place. Shep?
John Roberts live for us.